I am Russell Valentini, but I am known as Rooster. I am the homeless educational liaison in the Allentown School District. When someone is discovered to be experiencing homelessness, the child who's a student, one of the first things is to try to establish what basic needs are necessary. I don't want to be talking about fancy things or working on a paper for school if there's no food in their belly and they don't have any opportunity to do that paper, or they don't have any way to keep themselves clean. So I try to pay attention to basic needs first. After that, it's some school supplies, maybe some other things like that. And when we try to explore what could possibly be a help to improve the living situation, to maybe put some stability in a life that is at the time very random and unpredictable. Well, the official starting with working with students that are experiencing homelessness was back in '88, so we're over 20 years now. And some things that have changed since that time is I really could do the program for the most part out of the trunk of my car. It was bus tickets, and maybe it was getting school supplies, and maybe some snacks, and maybe an umbrella so that they wouldn't get wet on a rainy day, things like that. But things have gotten so complicated, and it is involving a lot more energy on things not just physical, not just the basic need things, but there is a lot of repairs that need to be done to broken relationships, broken homes, and broken psyche, broken self-image, and broken feelings about themselves or the world that's about them. So paying a lot of attention to those kind of things now. I feel very blessed with the response when I am working with the children and youth and their families. One of the things is I was raised strongly to not be ever thinking that I was better than anyone or anyone was better than me. My father raised me to not have any heroes because he said there is something good about every person. The response has been great from these children, students, youth, and the families. What I really appreciate is when they know I'm leaving them for the day and I'm going to my house and I'm going to eat and I'm going to sleep and I'm going to have heat or cool, that they welcome me back the next day because they know that I am being real with them and I'm not going to offer anything that I do not think it can be achievable. One of the things is I had always heard about students or children being kicked out of their homes when they turned 18. I always thought that was some kind of a myth. But reality is I have witnessed many students getting kicked out, or children being kicked out of their homes when they turn 18 because it's like, now you're an adult, now it's time to grow up, now it's time to get out. But some families are circling the wagons due to economic reasons, and they kind of let the child go. I had a lady about 2 years ago kept a foster child because she was getting state reimbursement for the child, but let her own child go, which is unbelievable. But that is what some people have resorted to, and that how it has affected, it eats up a lot of time because with the younger children that are students that are experiencing homelessness, we're working with the families. There is a place to go to, or we will try to keep them together via shelter, hotel, or in doubled up or tripled up with another family. The unaccompanied youth, these older students that have been separated from their homes for whatever reason, or the homes have separated from them, it is so much harder to find a viable place for them. Some of these young folks are with child, which makes it all the harder to borrow a couch at somebody's house for a few nights. It's also they don't necessarily have a contribution to make to the home, which is also struggling. So that has taken up a whole lot of time. And also, they're still children. And for them to be out there just traipsing the street and our society without somebody sitting on their shoulder saying, this is good for you, this is not good for you, that makes it all the harder. I have been very fortunate to have been recognized in what I do, because I'm just one person out doing what I think everyone should do, trying to give opportunity for people that deserve opportunity, that people that deserve a chance. But I have received, going back to 1990, I think, a Human Relations Award from Allentown, the Puerto Rican Cultural Society, the Salvation Army Citizen of the Year, the National Association for Social Workers, Lehigh County Division Social Worker. Just last year I got a national award from the National Association for the Education of Homeless Children and Youth, Lifetime Achievement Award, for over 20 years of work in this field. And I just recently was told of receiving an award from the Weller Health Education Center, which will be presented this year, for Child Advocate. So that's a lot of fantastic things that have happened, which helps keep me going, but I didn't necessarily need them to keep going, because it's the children that have kept me going. They're the ones that should be getting awards. I get to go home every day. They don't get breaks, vacations, or get to sleep off being homeless or being in a fragile situation. I deal with anywhere from 500 to 600 children who are students who are experiencing homelessness per year. They are invisible to everyone. They're invisible to the naked eye, because you put any child up next to a homeless child, you can't tell the difference, because parents do remarkable jobs trying to make sure they're clean and with clothes. It's a struggle, but they try to make sure. I couldn't go talk to people about what I was seeing because I couldn't believe it myself. So I started writing things down just to help me deal with what I was seeing out there, because I would have never believed it. The next thing is, while the first thing when you mention homeless is you're thinking of the guy peeing in the phone booth, or with a 40 ouncer, or the lady pushing the cart in the rag ladies and things like that. The average age of a homeless person in the United States is 9 years old. That is the average. So it's very important to let people know the children that are experiencing homelessness. And even if you want to blame the parents and stuff, and sometimes yes, but most times it's bad things that happen to good people. We can't pass, if there is a sin, down on these poor innocent children. We need to give them a chance. So through the poetry, when I do public speaking, when I'm out there, I'm hoping that a line or two will stick with somebody, and when they hear homeless, they don't think of the old man, that they think of the young child. And maybe it moves them, maybe a little bit of compassion, that they can think of these, maybe just through prayer, hoping that things get a little better. So the poems have meant that much. I hope someday to publish them, because funding keeps getting rougher and rougher, and I'm hoping to publish them someday to bring some money into the program. But I have been blessed with donation money. I have been so blessed with it. And the Allentown School District has set aside monies through Title I so that I can try to do more with less for these children. I guess we have to believe that these children are worth it. As I said before, we can't afford disposable people, and we can't afford weak links. If one of these links in this chain comes apart, it's no longer a chain, it's just a strip of metal. We have to try to engage them, and we have to work together on that. We can't rely on the government. Everybody knows that. It's got to be an effort that comes from the common folks, from the people in the neighborhoods, to try to make things better, helping your neighbor again, those kind of things. But we have to believe they're worth it. I always believe in this parable that everyone was put on this earth with a gift to give. And maybe it's just to one person, maybe it's to a group of people, and maybe a neighborhood, maybe the whole world. But I want to give them the opportunity, and we should make sure that these children have an opportunity to try to present this gift. That is the utmost thing, is if we believe in them, maybe they can in turn start believing in themselves. And it will pay back. They will give back also.